Hello, everybody. What a delightful time it is because it's the Silent Hill Ascension pre-show, and you're in our delightful company. I'm Eduardo, joined here by the ever-amazing Noah, who's going to run all of you through the run of show as our production team puts that up on screen for you.
Hello, everybody. I am going to take you through it right now. So right now we're at the pre-show. It's 5:40 p.m. Pacific time. We're here on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at the same time. Then we have the show every weekday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And then right after, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we are here with you processing the trauma together. Eduardo, what's this all about?
Well, aside from being a throwing bread simulator, Silent Hill Ascension is a socially interactive streaming series where all of you at home collectively shape and experience its ever-evolving story. You're going to collaborate and compete with others to try to make the choices you want to see happen. When that decision is done, it ends, that choice is canon. That's it. That's the version of the show that everyone sees. That's what goes in catch-up. That's what goes in episodes. That story is shaped by you, the participating audience, every day. And one of those choices really came to fruition yesterday, Noah and audience, right? This is our set of scene for today. Production's going to put that up. It's where Eric makes the choice to accept or reject Krista's offer of Ascension. Please enjoy.
Krista?
I keep seeing it, and every time I do, I'm more convinced. We have to do this.
I'm sorry, but I just don't believe there's a magical way to fix everything. Not the way you do.
What about Faith? I thought you wanted her to be safe.
Of course I do, but I don't think the Foundation is good for her. I want to find another way of helping her.
You're making a mistake.
Krista, I didn't mean...
When I leave this world behind, it means we'll never see each other again.
Welcome back, everybody. Whether you've seen that scene before or it's new to you, we hope you had a great time. But I see Noah's already taking out the fan there.
This is some shenanigans, Eduardo. This is we had Krista get her ass served by her beloved Eric, our beloved now, after we've all, heard from Ian. And, he basically said, you're tripping, and I'm not taking my daughter with you. We're not going with you.
Yeah, no, I did like it, right? That was one of the things. I was like, looking at that scene, I was like fist pumping, like Eric being his own man, not going with the Foundation, not going into, the leaving the world behind. Krista's like, I thought you wanted the best for your daughter. And Eric's like, yeah, the best for my daughter is not this thing.
Yeah, and I love Krista is like seeing all those visions. I believe she saw the Collector when she was looking through the book. I don't know why she believed herself, really. But, George Costanza once said, it's not a lie if you believe it. And that's something that in my life has really taken me forward. And I think Krista is experiencing the same success with this motto. I think she truly, for some reason, even though she sees, she saw the freaking Collector when she was reading through the book. Like, what on earth makes her feel like she knows how to make them safe? I do not know.
No, that's true. Like, yeah, you're correct, right? How does she know better if the nightmares keep plaguing her, so to speak, there? And I do wonder what's going to happen to Krista as a result, because she doesn't seem in the best place of mind, to be honest.
Yeah, it's been tough times, Faith it's a lot to deal with, and again, like, she better thank Eric for saying no thank you, because now she doesn't have to deal with that little brat.
No, for sure. There, yeah. No, Krista and Faith's relationship not so good. I did like so another child secondary, so to speak, person relationship that hasn't gone as well is like that. You know that scene where Aurora is like talking to Orson? That looked. Orson looked really uneasy. He's like saying the line, but he's not really happy about it.
He really was uneasy. That was a really powerful scene. It stressed me out. Like, again, I really love Orson's voice acting there. Like, I feel the innocence of a child being like, "Mama," you know.
Yeah,
What's
no,
up?
I know, and I actually like that scene in terms of like Astrid and Orson's relationship. It seems to be mending a bit, you know. And that decision, by the way, from the audience was like to lie or tell the truth. That was really close. No, it was like 51-49. But the big thing there was like how Astrid chose to tell the truth. She was like, Grandpa was getting weaker and weaker day by day. And,
Right.
you know, Ingrid, the horror story, Grandma, like essentially going, he kind of snapped basically, and she had it coming.
Yeah, that's really Astrid's best attempt at sugarcoating. You know, the Norwegians are cut differently from our friends in Hope's Junction. You know, sugarcoating is a bit more subtle there. It's less, you know, it's not high fructose corn syrup. It's more of a subtle, you know, sprinkle of sugar, or maybe honey even. But this is our best attempt. I felt terrible. Honestly, she's all drugged out. Her son's there. Like, thank God Haugen snapped out of it. And by the way, I really love Astrid in her sweater without the jacket. Okay, but let's talk about faith and hope, because the decisions and the endurance scenes and the puzzles, all of those contribute to whether a character will face redemption, suffering, or damnation in the grand Silent Hill Ascension final. So their fate is decided across the length of the season, and a character's hope needs to be high enough for them to survive a crucial story moment. So let's talk a little bit more deeper. Wait, sorry, my grammar has been off, but Eduardo, please take us into the world of faith and hope a little bit more deeply.
Right. So the big thing here is, you know, as we do these shows like week by week, you know, we go into like the details for this week. This is the context for this week. But like, let's take a larger picture, right? Redemption has pretty much won a ton of those decisions. Now, there is something we will talk about in the post show about what will Rachel do with Barbara, because what happened to that decision is kind of interesting. So we'll definitely cover that in the post show. Don't worry, audience. But we kind of know where the characters are headed in terms of their, you know, their fate. You, as the audience, have kind of wanted to see the characters redeem. This is not the horror show where they split up and a horrible death happens to them. It's a little bit different. But as a result, though, what is going to become more and more important is their hope. Because there's a difference between what happened to Toby and what happened to Carl. Both technically on the redemption path, slightly different outcomes. And it becomes important as in Pennsylvania, the hope is low. And in Norway, the hope is, well, high-ish. Astrid's hope has started getting closer and closer to that kind of 50-50 mark. So that's going to be a little closer to the mark on what might happen to her. And that's where it's going to be important. One thing I do notice, Britt is the character you all love. You don't want her to like suffer. You want her to come through with flying colors. The other characters, kind of redemption choices, but the hope is, so. Britt, though, flying colors, so to speak.
Right. We love our Brit. We want to keep her sober. We want to keep her happy. I'm not sure we want to keep her smiling, to be honest, because that's kind of a different story in our world here. But yeah, there is a strong empathy towards Brit. There always has been. And I feel, again, redemption, as you said, it can lead to many different things. And like sometimes, like we saw before, we're going to dive into it in a little bit, but like sometimes the damnation options seemingly they would be like the most character-friendly options, but they are, after all, damnation. So think about it. When you think you are doing a good deed, it does not go unpunished. So remember that. Don't try to save. Don't try to be a hero. Just go with your heart here. But let's take a deeper look at our characters. Maybe we can pull up on screen Astrid's character profile.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Noah, you called it. You take it away.
Oh yes, sorry. So I got too excited because I saw her with the sweater and without the jacket, and it's really it got my tugboat going.
That's fair enough.
But okay, so with Astrid we have strong redemption and positive hope. That's the general sentiment here, as you said. Right now, yeah. So the top decision we had was, what will Astrid do with the evidence of Carl's guilt? And you decided that she's gonna turn it over to the police, which was the redemption option, starting the beloved Howgrid before it was Howgrid. And then the most heated decision was, how will Astrid handle Brit's missing the funeral? And you all chose to be understanding, which was the damnation option, over the lecture her option, which was the redemption. So again, like we said, sometimes the damnation seems like a good thing, but it ain't.
No, for sure. And the thing is, though, again, it's about the relationship between sisters. It was consistent. I repeat this every time, but consistently, Brit is essentially Astrid's sister, and you, the audience, have gone, you know what? For the relationship between the sisters, we'll take the damnation option. Thank you very much. Fair enough. And I've loved seeing kind of how you at home have all gone with Brit, seen her path, seen the tough decisions she's had to make, and gone with that. But at the other side, it's kind of somebody asked, like, is that the most heated decision? It is, right? Because there are some other decisions that are close with Astrid, like the one we had yesterday, or to tell the truth or lie. But really, that's where consistently there was that struggle in the audience between wanting to make sure Astrid was okay, but also going like, you know what? I want that relationship with her sister. Now, what I liked about the scene that played out yesterday on Astrid's character development, she seems to have finally accepted her father.
Oh, wow. You're putting your therapy glasses on and you're seeing it for what it is. I do think it was an important character development moment. Like you said, I never thought about it, but it's like your mug says, it's trauma. And Aurora keeps trying to pull out this supposed evil that she sees in Astrid. And poor Orson, like, imagine being 5 years old and this lady, she's like, you're evil like your mama and your grandpa. And he also killed your grandma. Like, this is some kind of twisted Harold joke.
Yeah, by the way, somebody asked about glasses. These are the only ones I have. So, I mean, they're sorted, I guess, but not quite the perspective you're going for. I'm very sorry to not be able to help you sleep at night. Now, that said, because Astrid's the one who tells stories. Now, all of this said, right? I've liked seeing, like, as well, like Hagen, right? Like, when they're together, it's Olivia. And by the way, one of the lines I like the most in that second scene, because I like I really liked when Hagen fought back. She couldn't get the job done, which sadly seems like a recurring theme with the character.
Right.
But I like how they plan, and I like how, when she says, like, I'm not a cop anymore, Hagen, in that scene, I'm like, that sounds a lot more threatening than...
Right. It's like, no, don't go to the police. I'm not sorry, I'm ruining the accent for sure. I know that, like, Tiff worked very hard to do, like, an actually good job, and I'm sorry. But she's like, yeah, that's actually more intimidating. She's like, we're not going to the police. I'm not the police anymore. I'm just a rogue, love fiend here trying to help my Astrid. It's getting a little bit hot here.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm sorry. I have to fan the audience as well. It's very important to you at home. I know it's getting warm.
By the way, you can all sign up in the audience for our OnlyFans. That's where, of course, Eduardo and I only show our fans.
Right, exactly. Now, Noah, before we go too deep into that kind of line, we do have endurance scenes. Well, we're not going to throw you in the lines then. We'll throw one of the characters. But can you explain what happens to that character?
You can throw me anywhere you want, Eduardo, but listen to me now, because when the endurance scene starts, you will have to time your inputs to the actions you see on screen to help our character. So collective success means that the character's hope will rise, and otherwise it will fall. So if a character fails enough endurance scenes, they may not survive future encounters, leading to their permanent death in the story. These endurance scenes are one of the best places to earn large amounts of influence points. So just remember, success and failure here, they're part of a collective story. They're not individual judgment on you. And you can write to Layla and I. Eduardo doesn't engage in judgment, but Layla and I will be happy to.
I engage in silent judgment. I'm more the executioner at the other end of the line. I accept what needs to be done. But as you, the audience, will have to judge one of our characters. I have a special message from our development team tonight. We do have a Fate Endure scene. So in these, you essentially have to choose between redemption, suffering, and damnation. So that'll kind of happen as it goes. Now the thing is, you want influence points because that helps you impact the story. All you have to do, click once at very, very, very least in that scene so that you get the maximum amount of influence points, which is 2,400. So as long as you take part, you're good to go. Make sure to pick one of redemption, suffering, and damnation in that moment to change kind of what's going to happen to our character.
Yeah, so be sure to participate in the wonderful tug of war, but the show is starting real soon. So Eduardo, can you please recap?
Of course, while the audience is trying to find any possible clue into the future of the story, I can assure you, you shouldn't be able to in these glasses. We do have basically a lot of what happened is kind of fallback from the heralds, especially in Norway, right? Aurora kind of got the upper hand, even though Hagen pinned her down. She got to get away with Orson, and she's like, meet me at the usual place. Not great for Astrid. And hopefully, honestly, for once, I feel more on Orson's side. And well, for you, the audience, you kind of decide if you want to or not. But we did see that Eric was his own man, told Krista, no, sirree, Bob, I'm not going to put faith into, leaving the world behind. Not a little bit awkward for a young child for that one. So the thing is, we're going to kind of see how these things develop. Now, our characters are kind of rolling in and out. You're going to see different things in our scene. I'm not going to spoil it, but this is important. Always be prepared for what you might see. The nice part about this, Noah and myself will be there in the post show. We will break it down with you live. You don't want to miss it. I might be wearing these glasses, I might not, but Noah will always look splendid. So that's what matters, because for now, what's going to happen, you're going to enjoy the show. It's going to be in a little more than a minute. We're going to sign off for now. This was Eduardo. I was joined by the always wonderful Noah, and we'll see you right after. Oh, well, that almost worked.